Well, what's going on, man? It's your boy KNOCKOUT360 with another video. So as you can tell, I'm in a car that makes it a car vlog. You already know how it's going down when I come around. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. First things first, I want to say thank you to each and every last one of my new subscribers. We've kind of had an influx here recently, ever since I bought this 2020 Charger, which, you know, what's the correlation there? But I want to say thank you to each one of you guys. Car content, car shows, car reviews, car meets, anything and everything car related happens on this channel. So if you're into that kind of thing, stick around. For everyone else, make sure you hit that subscription button and that notification bell so that you know what's coming out and when it's coming out, right? So boom, let's go ahead and get into it, man. I'm not gonna waste your time. Your boy Scotty Kilmer's back at it again, man. He just did a video recently about, guess what? No car other than the Dodge Charger, right? The title of his video was literally, was I wrong about the Dodge Charger? Basically, he goes into a particular Charger. I think it's an SXT or an SE. It's definitely a V6 for sure. And basically, he's doing a review of it. Now, the only thing I don't understand about this Charger is this thing is dirty. It's been beaten to all hell. It's run down, but I still think it's functioning and I still think it's running, right? So I guess, you know, somehow or another, he got this car. He was going to do a review on it, and he basically went into the interior. He said that a lot of things were plasticky. A lot of things were kind of cheaply made. He said that the seats were comfortable. He basically said that, wrapping it up in a nutshell or kind of summarizing the video, and the reason I'm doing this video, he basically said that the V6 models of the Dodge Chargers are okay. They're pretty good. The V8s is where you run into issues, and his reasoning for that was basically stating because of how people drive the V8s. He didn't make any kind of claims about the V8 alone, I guess outside of driver performance, right, or driver input. Basically, he was saying that the reason that the V8s are so bad is because of how people drive them. People beat them into the ground, people burn out, people do hard pulls, people are constantly racing. Quite naturally, that's going to take its toll on any engine, right? Whether it's a V8 Hemi, whether it's an LS, whether it's a VTEC, it's going to take its toll on any and every engine, right? So he basically said that the V6 engines, the Pentastar engines, which is what I had in my previous car, 3.6 liter, are okay, right? They're good engines, they're rated good. For longevity, they're good. You know, like I know, I had my red V6 Rally for well over 106,000 miles, and I never had any serious issues, guys. No cap. I'm being honest with you. That was literally one of the most reliable cars I've ever had. Probably even more reliable than my Honda Civic EX, which was a 99. I actually had some, what did I have, man? I think I had some, something under the hood, something that's stupid, but something to do with the engine, man. It was sort of major, but it was a cheap fix because it was a Honda. But surprisingly, I say that to say the Dodge held up better over time than the Honda did. And that's just my experience. You guys know my experience is subjective to me and me only. I understand that. But the reality of the situation is that the V6 held up extremely well against all odds and against all, I guess, conversation that Dodge doesn't make quality cars, right? Like I said, I had that car well over 100,000 miles and I had no issues with it. That car was driven every single day hard. You know what I'm saying? I was probably putting anywhere between 300-400 miles in that car a week, right? Just because that's how I drive. Not to mention, I'm the kind of guy, like when I drive, I like to go out for a drive. I like to take the long route, get on the highway, the scenic route. I'm that kind of guy. So basically, the V6, I can attest for, was a great engine. He's saying the same thing at this point. He's saying that the Pentastars are not bad at all. He's kind of double backing. A lot of the videos that he's made prior to have always been about how Dodge cars are cheaply made. They're cheaply made on the interior wise as well as exterior. They're cheaply made under the hood. Cheaply made engines. The only engine that Dodge is known for, in his opinion, is the Cummins, which is the diesel engine for the trucks, right? Obviously, they don't put those engines in the cars, but the diesel engines for the trucks, right? He basically said that the Hemi beat on it, excuse me. People do nothing but beat on it, which is why over time they wear down. But then again, that's subjective to the driver. There are so many people out there right now, and you guys jumped on me because I did a video about that recently, whether or not you should buy a used Hellcat. There are so many people out there who have used Hellcats, used SRT 392s, used Scat Packs, used RTs, used Daytonas, used TAs that are still running perfectly, running as if they just bought it the day before. And I say that to say, at the end of the day, if you take care of your car will take care of you. I'm a firm believer that even with this 6.4 liter, you know, shameless plug, but even with this 392, I'm going to play with it for sure. I played with the V6. I had a lot of fun with the V6. I put it in sport mode, traction off. I had fun with that as well. So I'm not going to sit and act like I babied that one, because I didn't. I took that car all over the Southeast, straight up. All over the Southeast. That car from Florida to Georgia to Virginia, all over North and South Carolina, had no issues with it whatsoever. And I intend to do the same thing with this car. I will be having fun with it, but I also will be mindful that, hey, listen, this is a car. It needs to be, you know, taken care of, oil changes, tire rotations, the whole nine, the simple stuff. And I intend on this engine lasting me for a long time. I've heard nothing about the Hemi engines in the long run. Everything is based on how you drive your car. And that's not just specific to Dodge or the Hemi. That's specific to any car, any driver, whether it's a VTEC Honda Civic, whether it's a LS Chevy, whether it's a Hemi, whether it's a AMG bi-turbo V8. You know what I'm saying? If you're beating on it constantly, quite naturally, you are essentially cutting off the number of years, the number of miles, and the number of time that you have with that car before something major happens, right? So ultimately, he's basically saying in this video that Dodge Chargers are not that bad. He said that the Hemis, you know, they're toys. People like to play with them. Over time, they wear down, once again, subjective to the driver. The 3.6 V6s are not bad at all. He strictly warns against buying high-mileage V8s, right? The high-mileage Hemis. You know, 80,000, 100,000, 120,000 Hemis. 120,000-mile Hemis, whether it's the 5.7 or the 6.4 or even a Hellcat, which I don't think anybody's doing that. He strictly warns against that, and quite naturally, you know, I would warn against that too. But that goes back to any car. Me personally, I wouldn't buy a car with more than 80,000 miles. You know, I think my limit personally would probably be in the realm of 50 to 60,000. You know what I'm saying? 80,000 pushing it specifically for a Hemi, because like I said, you know how Hemi drivers drive their cars. That's not everyone, that's some. But I would have to draw the line at about 50 to 60,000. So I agree with him on that front, that high mileage Hemis, you probably want to draw the line on. Not to say that they're going to wear down any faster than anybody else's car. It's just, you know what I'm saying? You know what they're known for. Just get yourself a brand new Hemi and do as you please with it. Put your name on it, right? But ultimately, he gave the Dodge Charger a relatively good score as far as the V6 is concerned. He said that the interior is cheap. Once again, that's because, you know, that particular model he was looking at was I think it was like a 12 or 13 SE. You know what I'm saying? Everything in those cars were completely plastic. You feel what I'm saying? It didn't even have the 8.4-inch touchscreen. It had the small one. I don't even know what size it was. But it had the small one. It ran, it started up, it did everything that he needed it to do. Ultimately, he gave it a relatively okay score, basically saying that the V6 Chargers are good. You want to stay away from the high mileage Hemis, which even I caution that myself. He also says that the Hemis are not good long-term engines, but once again, that's subjective to how that person drives the car, right? Which makes no sense, to keep it real with you. That's all subjective. That's all subjective to the individual. You can't say that about everyone's car. There are people out here right now driving Hellcats with well over 100,000 miles that have only had to do oil changes and tire rotations. You know what I'm saying? Small stuff, right? There are a lot of people out here that are daily driving these cars, like myself for the time being, until, you know, obviously I get something else. But there are a lot of people out here that are daily driving these cars, starting these cars up every single day, morning, noon, or night. Wintertime, summertime, whatever the case may be, these cars are being put to the test, and I understand that. Now, the fact of the matter is I've always told you guys that you need to think for yourself. Don't allow these people to think for you. Don't allow these people who have 3+ million followers and subscribers, which his channel does. Shout out to his channel, man. I'm not taking anything away from that man. I never have, and I don't want to start. I don't even want to sound like that's what I'm doing now. I'm simply saying everything is subjective, and as a consumer, if you're in the market for a car and you are interested in the Dodge Charger, that's something that you yourself should do your own research on. Me personally, I have driven a Dodge Charger since 2015, and I will attest that they are really solid, reliable cars. Are they perfect? No. The car that I'm driving now, it's really powerful. It's very spacious. As far as the interior is concerned, I'll be honest with you, it is a Dodge. It's not an AMG. So I knew what I was getting myself into. It's not a Lamborghini. I don't expect Alcantara all over the place. You feel what I'm saying? But at the same time, I knew exactly what I was getting into, and I'm more than pleased with it, right? Is it perfect? Absolutely not. 16 miles to the gallon is not perfect in any world, and it shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? The fact that this thing is so hot, always running hot. For all you 392 drivers out there, I'm sure you can attest, when you roll your window down or you open your door, you just feel that wave of heat just hit you in the face, and it has nothing to do with how hot it is outside. It can be 20 degrees, and that Hemi, that heat from under the car, under the chassis, is going to hit you in the face. That is not okay, but at the same time, that is a Hemi. That's your Hemi, that's my Hemi, that's everyone's Hemi. So that's uniform across the board. Are these cars perfect? No, but they're really solid cars. The Dodge of old, the Dodge of the 80s and the 90s has died at this point, if you ask me. I don't think that those cars are relevant in this day and age. I think Dodge has mastered specifically the Charger and the Challenger to a T. You know what I'm saying? And I think that they're giving their owners exactly what they want and what they expect. We don't expect an AMG interior. I don't expect, BMW i8 technology. I don't expect Honda Civic gas mileage, you know what I'm saying, or fuel efficiency. I don't expect those things. This is what I have come to know and love about this particular car. I know it's big, I know it's hefty, I know it's thirsty, I know it's powerful, and I know it's loud, and obviously I know it's hot, and I'm okay with that, because ultimately that's what this car is, and I'm okay with that. The fact of the matter is your car is going to give you what you put into it, right? If you're treating it fairly, you're getting your tires rotated, you're getting an oil change, you're doing all kinds of routine maintenance and things of that sort, you should be just fine. You should have no issues whatsoever. The minute that you start deviating from that and you want to miss one oil change and miss one tire rotation, with cars like this, these 6.4s, 6.2s, these engines are way too big for you to be slacking. Real talk. You cannot slack on an oil change with these cars. You know what I'm saying? If there's one thing that I've already learned about this car, is that I'm going to be changing the oil probably between, you know what I'm saying, every 3,000 to 5,000, maybe 6,000 miles, pushing it. You know what I'm saying? I can't push it like I did with my V6. With my V6, I was probably changing it 6,000, 7,000 miles or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I was definitely trying to get as much bang for my buck with that car. But with this one, that is not going to fly. Straight up, guys. That's not going to fly. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I've come to expect, and I'm okay with that, because that's what I bought. With that being said, Dodge muscle cars are reliable. I think Scotty Kilmer has been in the game for years. I have nothing but respect for him. That man's probably been a mechanic longer than I've been alive. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even going to front. So I'm not even going to challenge him there. But at the same time, everything is subjective. Get out there, find out what you like, find out what works for you, and then, test it out, man. Don't allow someone on your smartphone or your tablet or your computer to tell you what to buy, essentially. Don't allow them to scare you off of American cars. American cars have changed. This goes for Ford, Chevy, GMC, everything. American cars have changed. The quality, the standard of quality has changed significantly. So with that being said, as always, like, subscribe, comment, talk to your boy. Make sure you go and check out the video, the original video on his channel, and then make sure you come back here to check out my response to it, man. So as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.